Okay, so moving on to the fourth house. The fourth house is something I find extremely interesting as well when it comes to astropsychology, because the fourth house shows us how Van der Sloot was raised. The fourth house is home and family and food and basically the home environment, the upbringing. And what his family life was like. And we find Scorpio with a placement of Pluto there. Van der Sloot was born in 1987, so he was of the Death Wish generation. Pluto in Scorpio, that was his generation. So was Stephanie Flores, by the way. She was is also of the Death Wish generation, Pluto in Scorpio. Now, this is the generation, let me talk a little bit about that. This is the generation that grew up basically in a perpetual identity crisis. Some of these people are still in this crisis. The questions really, when they were young, and now that they're a little older, these questions may still be hopefully at the forefront of their mind, and hopefully they're discovering answers to these questions, these personal questions as life goes on for them. Who am I, and what am I to the world? What is my place in the world? What is my purpose? These are burgeoning questions that we all yearn for and we all seek. There's nothing new there, but for the Death Wish generation, this is something that was very, very meaningful to them, very important to them, and something that unfortunately for a large portion of this generation was ignored by parents, or just simply wasn't able to be answered by parents, because at that time especially, this definitely was the generation of the latchkey kids, okay, for the most part. So parents weren't around, parents weren't as attentive as they may be now, or perhaps they were before. In any event, these are important questions for these people. These people also have a great power, the people of the Death Wish generation. They have the power to destroy the world, or they have the power to transform it. We're going to see this as these people get older and mature. The power to destroy the world or transform it. It's their choice to make. The Death Wish generation, for the most part, craves these answers, and when they don't get the answers, so far in history, they've reacted in violently outlashing ways, from largely their music of choice, with the advent of screaming lyrics, screaming vocalists, screaming in anguish and frustration in their music, to shooting and killing people in their schools. You guys, I'm sure everyone remembers this. Certainly in this country we do, in the United States. This is the generation, remember, that was responsible for the Columbine killings. The Columbine high school mass murder scene in Colorado. And you probably all remember the rash of school shootings during that time. It was a whole era like we had never seen before. From 1992 to 1997, we saw a major shift, or an increase in school shootings. In 1999, the number of school shootings dropped dramatically to 1/4 the number of shootings from 92 to 97. Okay? The Pluto and Scorpio, the Death Wish generation. This is the fact. This is the case. Pluto and Scorpio here indicates that Van der Sloot was raised in a home or family of drama, manipulation, secrets, possibly organized crime, gambling. Pluto in Scorpio also rules power, sex, money, corruption, death. Also remember, of course, that to facilitate all this, Van der Sloot's father was in politics. That's why they were in Aruba. Van der Sloot's father was in politics. We all, for better or worse, of course, associate all of those things with politics: corruption, death, power, sex, money, drama, manipulation, secrets, scandal. We associate all of that with politics. So this is how Van der Sloot was raised. This would have been an incredible impact, of course, on what a child considers to be normal behavior, and would certainly shape the native's belief system. This certainly shaped Joran's belief system, especially for Van der Sloot, because he's a Cancer in the 12th house. Remember, we're talking about astropsychology here, and then I have a tendency to read in a way that could be considered holographic. I follow the chart all around. I bounce all over the place, up and down, dimensionally. Anyway, on with this. The 12th house rules the belief system, and he has Cancer there in the 12th house. And as a Cancer there, we can look to the 4th house, where Cancer naturally rules. Cancer rules the 4th house in the zodiac, to see what type of environment shaped Van der Sloot's early belief system. Okay, I'm talking about core values, core beliefs. What does he believe in? Remember, Van der Sloot is only 22 years old. He's still a very young man and hasn't had much time at all to form his own opinions based on world experience yet, based on unique experience. His father even just recently passed away. And so now Van der Sloot has had an opportunity or a chance to explore the world and form his own opinions without the influence of his father. But I don't think he's going to have much of an opportunity to do that in any sort of a normal way or significant way, significantly positive for him anyway, because he'll be doing that from a jail cell, or he may not have any chance to do it at all if he lives much longer. And so anyway, that's too bad for him. In Van der Sloot's 5th house, moving along, the 5th house of love and romance, we see that Van der Sloot is a Sagittarius. The 5th house also rules what we create, and it rules also leisure, speculation, gaming, gambling, fortune, fame. This combination, of course, lends to create a personality of someone who loves to travel. Sagittarius and leisure. Fortune and luck with foreigners, as Sagittarius rules foreigners. Sag ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter rules luck and opportunity. But it's not so simple, because we also find Van der Sloot's moon here combust with Uranus, and Saturn is placed here in the 5th house with all of this as well. Saturn and Uranus are conflicting planets, as Saturn rules limitations, rules themselves, limitations, structure, and form, while Uranus rules freedom, freedom from structure, freedom from limitations, freedom beyond the rules of the dense physical plane that we live in. And also, with the moon combust Uranus here, there exists a constant need for change, an emotional need, even deep emotional need for change, a constant need for new and exciting variety when it comes to love and romance and sex. And by the way, combust just means two objects occupying the same orb, and Uranus and the moon here are both at 20 degrees, right on top of each other in the 5th house. I'm going to pause here and move on to the next video in this little series, since we're approaching 10 minutes.